Hey guys, you're watching EYEZ.TV. We got another Eyes on You interview for you. So as you guys know, we're always digitally handshaking you to people that are very successful in different points of the industry. So you have the nonprofit industry, you have the business industry, you have the entertainment industry. You have so many different pieces. In this case, this interview is with Sebastian, and he is an expert in the entertainment industry. He's actually a producer. I met him at the Celebrity Connected Gifting Suite probably about 6 years ago, and he was working with the Hollywood Film Festival. And when I first met him, I said, I need to know you. God's telling me to meet you. And so now we're here with him. Fast forward 6 years now, we're here at his studio for movie reviews and more. And we're gonna go ahead and introduce you to Sebastian, my friend, and now 2020, I guess you say media partner, business colleague. We got a lot of good stuff happening. What's up, Brian? Welcome to EYEZ.TV.
And I'm in your neighborhood.
Yeah, I know, finally. You're in my hood.
Yeah, I know, it's good to be down here. I was looking for the right studio, the right place. There's a lot of talent, undiscovered talent, I would say from Long Beach down here, going to Riverside, going to San Diego, and there's not a spot for a lot of people to come. So what you've done now in this area, you've created a venue for certain people to come. So what I want to do is I want to weed some of these people out. I want to make sure that they're ready, that they're good, and I want to test some of them out before I say, okay, you're ready to do this.
I love it. And so you mentioned talent. Is that what you mainly do? Do you look for talent to help them? I mean, you have a pretty big platform, your television show, your radio show.
No, I look for interesting things. I like things that kind of stand out. I look for things that people would not normally see, if that makes sense. I mean, everybody can go buy something, but they're going to bypass it for whatever reason. And then I'll stop and say, how come they didn't see this? This is like a gold mine. It doesn't make any sense. I'm like, wait, come back. You can do something with this, and by that time, they're gone. So I'm like, okay, I might as well do something with it. That's how I find these things.
This EYEZ.TV interview is brought to you by IHP Global. In his presence, become a better, stronger you. Be sure to check out ihpglobalinc.com. So tell us a little bit about your show and why someone would want to be on it.
Well, movie reviews and more, it was, if you remember home video stores back in the day, it was one of those things where you'd come in from a long day work and you wanted something, say you had a bad day, so you might want a comedy. Well, it's my job to know what kind of mood you're in to make sure that comedy, you went home happy and you came back better. So recommendation was important for me at that point. So if you didn't come back, I didn't do my job. So I had to make sure I watched all the movies. So what I'm doing now, years later, I'm still doing the same thing, but I'm doing it just a different way. I want to make sure that there's those brands or those people that are not being discovered, that they get an opportunity. So most people deserve one chance. Some people deserve a second chance. You don't really deserve a third one. But a lot of times they don't even get a chance. It's almost like what you're doing for a lot of people. So we do it a different way, and then we kind of meet in the middle, if that makes sense. So what I like to do, I like to find those people around the world and give them the opportunity. So what people have done and come on to for movie reviews and more, they've actually come around the world to be on the show. They've actually driven 10, 12 hours. They've actually flown in and then taken a boat in. And it's an honor. So I want to make sure that I can give them a platform to tell their stories. I want to have these.
You must have a pretty big viewership base if people are flying 12 hours to come on your show.
Well, it started with downloads. It started with downloads at LA Talk Radio, but before that I was at Adrenaline Radio when I first brought a camera in, and I wanted to test it because no one was doing it. Well, you were doing it, but no one was really doing it, and I'm like, it's going to be visual, which is where we are. It's streaming. And at that point I was testing everything in Whittier, out of all places. So it's almost like taking a movie or a TV show and testing it. You test it in a small market to see how it's going to play. You play it to middle America. If it works there, it'll work any place. So that's what I started doing. And then one of the things when I went to one of your events I ended up going to Tennessee with a friend. I called her my southern mom, Edie Han, and her son Link Han. And it was one of those things.
So let me let them know. This is what I was telling you guys in the beginning. This is the story of how a lot happened, actually. And shout outs to Edie Han, Link, and Victoria, yeah. And so this is a really interesting story, and thank you for, definitely share it with us.
Well, it was one of those things on how we met. We met at Celebrity Gifting Suite that you had talked about, and you invited me to a yacht party. And I didn't want to go, but I knew I had to go. It's one of those things where you're just tired. It's a long, exciting day. I said, I'm not going to go by myself. If I have two people coming with me, it'll force me to go. All I knew was that I needed to go. That's what I did know. And thankfully that I did go. So you could say God or the universe, opened up that door through Eric at that point, and I met Edie on the boat, and she was very excited because you had talked to her. I was at Hollywood Film Festival at that point, and my job was to pick movies and to find things that would fit in for our company at that point. And one of the things she had was a movie, and I get approached by a lot of people around the world who've got a movie, a CD, a script, and or a book. And it's one of those things I like to do the justice to people. You've taken the time to write a book, you know what it's like to write that. I want to make sure I read the book before I talk about it. I don't care how long it takes me to do it. It's important because you took the time. It's your story, and it's got to be told the right way. So she had a movie on her being a 5-time cancer survivor, but at that time 4-time cancer survivor, and she had a book about her family, and then being cousin of Elvis Presley, St. Jude's Hospital, which was my #1 charity. So she was just energetic, and it was a cold day. And I'm like, wow, she's happy. I gotta watch it. I was gonna watch it anyhow. So what I did is I watched the movie, and it was good enough to get into the Hollywood Film Festival.
Tired. Go ahead.
Hey, we're used to holding mics too. So it was good enough to get into the Hollywood Film Festival. So at that point is I had to show it to other people. They didn't believe in the film. And I'm like, it's a good film. It's about her story. It needs to be told. Lo and behold, it ended up winning awards. And from that, she ended up being around, and she goes, if you ever come to Tennessee, I got a lot of people for you to meet. Lo and behold, last year, last year, I went to Tennessee, and from that, in only a year, December 5th will be a year that 2 shows had been shot at that point. Well, I'm at 4.1 million views, 3.1 million views out of Tennessee alone. That's due to Edie bringing me down there and doing shows on iTube 247. But again, the credit goes back to, had Eric not stopped me, I would have never had the chance or the opportunity to go down there to meet those beautiful, wonderful people down there. I would have never had that happen to you. So I always tell this story to people because it's important to tell. It's a story. So again, this is where you come in to put people together too, because that's what you do.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. And so thank you for sharing that story. And hopefully it goes to show you guys that, it's about a win-win. It's the power of appreciation, and you never know who you're going to meet when you actually, let's say you're tired and you don't want to go. A lot of times there's going to be an event that's going to happen, and you just don't want to go. That's when you have to find that burst of that special energy to make yourself go, because that could be your opportunity. That could be that one thing. And you said you were tired, you didn't want to go, but because you went, look at where you are now. Everything's happened, and you have all these viewers now for the show. So let's let our audience, by the way, we're live on Facebook, so say hi everybody out there that's watching us. And we're live everywhere. Hey everybody. We're live with Christina Powers, and so let's get a little bit of your story and who you are and why somebody would want to be involved with you. And let's have them realize that once they realize who you are, don't hold back, okay? And what that's going to mean for 2020 when this collaboration between Movie Reviews and More, the Easy Way, happens.
Well, one of the things why you would want to be on our show is because I allow you to tell the story, and I take the time. I don't like to interrupt. I'm a toss-up between Howard Stern, Larry King, Bill O'Reilly, and Oprah. So I learn to listen, and you listen to learn. And from that, you get some great stories to be told. And everybody has a good story, but they don't always get the opportunity. So Movie Reviews and More, I created it for that. The more part was always going to be more important to Movie Reviews and More, because at that point when I started it, I was in home video. Well, there aren't any video stores out at that point. There wasn't the internet really at that point. There wasn't any digital at that point. And being in home video, you could see the trends of everything being created at that point, because out of home video came VHS, came beta, came early streaming. Ted, the guy who runs Netflix, he came out of home video. He was VidCom at that point. He is the president of Netflix now, Ted Sardos. So out of home video, a lot of us came. So we know what it was like to do all those things, to go up against the big boys. And at that point, on the other side, you had adult stuff coming in too. So I learned about all of that stuff. They were the forefronters on early computers, CD-ROMs, if you remember all that stuff that came from the adult side. So I took pieces of things here and here and here and put it all together, and then I'm like, this is what Movie Reviews and More is all about. It's about educating. I have the four E's. I call it entertaining, engaging, inciting, emotional. And if I don't like something, it's just simply empty without degrading something, because people work a long time on their products. You might not get it now sometimes, but sometimes if you're watching, you never know what it's going to blossom out to be later. Like you, what you guys created. You started with a project, but not everybody knew what you had in your mind. Sometimes people can't see what's being created out there, but they can see it later, and then they all want to jump on the bandwagon, right? Right?
Oh yeah, there's many different stories we can talk about that, and you know, but you do things a certain way, and you're actually pretty good at. And this is the educational part of the interview. You're actually pretty good at getting sponsors. I notice a lot of people that have shows don't know how to get sponsors, and you do. Okay, tell us some of the secrets on how to get sponsors if you have a show, or a streaming show, or a podcast.
Well, it's actually quite easy. I mean, everybody's got a friend of a friend. And everybody's got a brand, or whether it's a jewelry line that they want to start, but they don't always have a platform where they can go and do it. Yes, you can go to social media, but you want to find those right influencers, right? You want to find those people, which is what you have in your network. So for me, I always want to I have 10 women co-hosts. They're all women. So I believe in women empowerment, gender empowerment. So what I like to do, I want to make sure that they get to do. So if I'm looking at Christina's boots right now. I love her boots. Well, 3 of the girls would love her boots. So I want to know where she got them. I want to go to that store. That's where I want to go.
Now, as you're talking, we need to bring Christina into the camera here so she can show these boots, because I know they're wondering, like, what boots are you talking about?
Yeah, they're beautiful boots. Christina, talk about these boots.
How do I bring these boots over here?
These are gorgeous boots. Talk about what you got.
The song, these boots are made for walking. They're made in Spain. They're made by hand, and I got them at Melrose at the Heart store. So there that goes, and they're specially designed only for celebrities. But somehow, the designer was there, and he liked me, and he let me in the door. He thought I was a celebrity, and I got to buy them. And he has to make another pair for the other girl, which is pretty famous. Yes.
With that, like that, thank you. But that's one of the examples of things like that, because you want to find those things that stick out, because everybody would want them. Think of how the Kardashians started. They started on the wrong way, but look where they are now, right? And we all know people like that. Is it easy to do? No. Can it all be done? Yes.
I have so many stories with Ray J, and
well, it's another story, you know. But yes, it's part of that. I learned from that side, the adult side, which I will never stray away from, that you can be creative, but you got to know how to do it tastefully in the right way, because it's not for everybody. But at the same time, everybody loves fashion and style. I'm not a stylist person. I like fleece. I'm not a suit and tie guy. You look good and stuff like that. I like the hat, so I can wear a hat like that, but I can't wear a suit and tie. I'm uncomfortable with it. It's not me. I'm a fleece. I'm a movie guy. I'm always in 67-degree weather where it gets cold. So for me, I like sweatshirts. So I'm wearing a Dominate the Day from Sebastian Foundation. I like St. Jude stuff. You know, you're a Make-A-Wish guy, which is what I like too. So that's my second favorite charity. So when it comes to these things, we're picking out what we like, what fits us the best, which is most important. And you got to believe in it, because if you don't believe in it, how are you going to sell it? One of my friends at 20th Century Fox back in the day said, sell it, don't smell it. And that's what you have to do.
So I love how you never answered my question. How do you get sponsors? Like, it was a good story and everything, but what's some of the secrets to actually, like, you know, get a person to pay you to be on your actual show? I mean, you have a lot of viewership. That's probably one good way to start, right?
Well, the secret is going back to the boots, finding those boots and getting that person to come over and say, you know what, I know I can help you. Are you willing to take a chance on this? Because it's expensive to be on TV and radio. Is it worth it? It's still worth it. And you can be on Instagram, you can get those views and stuff, like, or those followers and some views on that, but how do you monetize that? So for me, I figured out how to way to do it is I want to go to that small business and I want to help them. That's basically what it is. It's a simple thing, but that doesn't mean it's simple to get them. Because again, people can't see what they don't know.
And there's a thing called product placement, which you guys, if you're looking, we're actually doing that right now, doing this interview. And there's a lot of things we can actually go into. So if you actually go to EYEZ.tv and you subscribe, we actually do put a lot of content like this on our Roku channel to learn from experts like Brian and myself on how to get sponsors, and we'll go more into it. And so you also do the talent side of things. You support talent, and I know you have one of your talents here. And if you want to bring her in, she we'll introduce her. And I know that you're pushing her right now, and let's go ahead and introduce her. What's her name?
All right, so this is Mackenzie McClellan, and I like Kenzie. I like the family. I wanted to utilize her in because, again, we're in your territory.
What drew you to Mackenzie and wanted to make you?
She had a smile, and I liked her dad, and I liked the family. Say hi.
Hi guys, my name is Mackenzie McClelland, and shout out to Brian.
No, one of the reasons was because I found them at the Pre-ESPYs Award, and you can find people many different places that we've been. The problem is that people don't utilize these events, which is what you, EYEZ, has created. A great gathering places to meet all these other people. Now, is it expensive? No. Is it worth it? Yes, it is. But the whole thing is you've got to be able to recognize that talent. You've got to be able to do something with them. And Kenzie has it. She has something. Plus, we're in that neighborhood of Costa Mesa. I would never be down here if I didn't think talent was down here. You live in this area. This is your hood, and you created something special out of here. So all I'm doing is wanting to find certain things and certain people that I think need to have their stories told.
So let's talk about that, what we're going to be doing here in Costa Mesa. And for those of you guys that are out in the Orange County area, that is where we live. And we also are in Los Angeles and San Diego, but mainly we're going to start doing a lot of stuff in Orange County. And there is a nice studio. It seems like a 2-3-story building. That's a nice building, KCUI, Sirius Radio, and we got something going on here. So there's going to be opportunity for people to come down, or it might be in the Orange County area, to come get exposure. And we're going to be adding on to what he has with his studio and doing a lot of great things. So if you guys want to get interviewed and come down to a nice studio and actually collect and create a lot of content and learn how to actually
learn how to do it the right way.
Learn how to do it the right way, learn how to actually make money, learn how to actually find the sponsors. I mean, I know his secrets. He's not sharing them with you as much as I wanted him to, but I know a lot of what he does. And it's very important because nowadays it's all streaming, it's all podcasting, it's all, it's a new age. And
well, what it is I would rather show you how to do it, if that makes sense, because most people are visual, that's why. Yeah. Some people don't get it.
And so when you guys are on the show, it's also going to be on the EYEZ Network, which now we're reaching 318 million homes with our distribution. And this is going to be a fun show that you're going to be able to watch. So if you guys are subscribed to the Roku channel, search EYEZ Network, you'll be able to find movie reviews and more here pretty soon. And I appreciate you interviewing me and letting me tell my story.
Well, it was fun, but again, the reason why it took a while, because I'm always booked 3 months ahead of time. I was having more international people going over. I was playing with the downloads, and I was in Los Angeles, but I was also cross country most of the year. I spent a lot of time in Georgia, Tennessee, and Indianapolis figuring out things. So I've got certain markets and certain things set up cross country and outside the U.S., that's why.
And so Kenzie, you guys can actually watch. This will be, I think, be fun. You can watch what Kenzie does. She's an actress. She's a host. She's doing her thing. She's building her career.
She's a Marvel fan too.
Yeah, I'm a Marvel fan as well. But you'll be able to. And they follow you where?
My Instagram is Kenzie McClelland, KenziemCCLelland, and from there you can find my other social media platforms.
See how perfect she did that? She must be trained. And, she's like looking at the camera, spelling out her name, and so you watch and see what happens with her, and also a lot of other talents and a lot of other brands that we're going to be working with. It's going to be really spectacular 2020. So me and Brian are coming together. A lot of amazing things. Anything? Last final words?
Stay in contact with what Eric's doing. He's got a lot of things that are going on, and look to see what fits you the best, because not everything works for everybody, but find that one thing and just really hone in on it and work it.
There it is, guys. So you're watching EYEZ.tv. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, EYEZ TV Worldwide, and subscribe to our Roku, Apple, and Amazon. And you can also go to the EYEZ Fam Club group and join our family. Thanks so much. Stay tuned to the next Eyes on You interview, because we're going to be showing you guys another awesome person to have your eyes on. And thanks so much, Brian, for coming on.
Absolutely.